Hydrate or dihydrate, boy. It's been a minute since I've posted anything here or anywhere. You might be wondering where I've been, or where the Street Twin went, or how this got here. Let's just say I had a really long run of bad luck that resulted in me parting ways with the Street Twin. And then I had a sudden stroke of incredible luck that resulted in the Speed Twin practically falling into my lap. It's a much longer, more complicated story than that, and I'm not going to tell it. We're just going to move on. This is a leftover 2019. Bought it brand new from a dealership. Picked it up the day before yesterday. So my camera just ran out of memory. Yeah, this is how I should have done it from the start. I'm just going to give you my initial impressions. Surprise! The thing's fucking awesome. There really are no bad motorcycles in 2020, and there are absolutely no bad Triumph Modern Classics. But I feel that the Speed Twin takes the best that the range has to offer and puts it into one model. You know, I loved my Street Twin to the moon and back. It was my perfect bike at the time that it came out, and at the time that I got it. I wanted something that was timelessly photogenic, that was fun to ride, and I of course loved that despite its looks, it was a thoroughly modern machine with fuel injection, liquid cooling, anti-lock brakes, traction control. So I loved every minute of it while I had it. That said, if I learned one thing from owning my forever bike, it's that there is no such thing as the forever bike. It didn't take much riding for me to start finding little things that I would change about the Street Twin if I could. The Speed Twin addresses all of those complaints and takes everything I loved about the Street Twin and turns it up to 11. The Street Twin, with its 900cc high torque motor, lacks top end power. Hey, here's the 1200cc high power motor out of the Thruxton and Thruxton R. Street Twin lacks braking power with its single front disc. Hey, Speed Twin's got a giant dual disc Brembo setup. Street Twin was never very good at long stretches on the highway. I rode it up to New York once, and I took 50 to the Bay Bridge just to cut out some of the time I'd have to spend on 95. Not true for the Speed Twin. In 6th gear, it cruises at 70 miles an hour at about 4,000 RPM. How do I know it's 4,000? Because I got a tachometer, which the Street Twin does not have. Is it a necessary riding feature? No, but if nothing else, I like the symmetry. Street Twin's got a big dumb logo on the side panel that's underneath the clear coat, so you can't take the decal off without respraying it. Speed Twin has a beautiful metal logo in the side panel that totally feels like it belongs. If this bike had existed at the time that I bought my Street Twin, I'm pretty sure I would have held off on the purchase until I could afford this. Man, throttle response is awesome. I'm in road mode right now. It's got 3 modes: rain, road, and sport. Sup, gang? Honestly, I see myself spending most of the time in rain, especially when I'm in town or sitting in traffic, just because the throttle response is so much smoother down low. Even in road mode, the middle of the 3, it's very much a on-off switch. Hey, ZRX. So without a doubt, Triumph's greatest achievement with this bike is keeping the weight down. This thing weighs 2 kilograms less than a Street Twin. You know, you may have been thinking like, oh, if you didn't like not having a 6th gear or a tachometer on your Street Twin, why didn't you just get a T100? And that's because the T100 weighs more, but had to make do with the same motor and, even worse, the same brakes. I don't know how they did it. Well, I do know how they did it, but I'm not going to rattle it all off here. But Triumph managed to take the best of every motorcycle in the modern classic range and put it into one model. You may have also noticed throughout this video that the Speed Twin happens to be gorgeous. I will say, I don't think I'll ever find a tank color scheme that I love as much as I loved that aluminum silver with the 2 little red stripes on my old Street Twin, but this one looks pretty good too, and I definitely think it's the best looking of the Speed Twin color options. The red looks great as well, but I don't know, I feel like that would have clashed with my yellow helmet. One thing I really appreciate about the Speed Twin looks-wise that it comes from the factory with bar end mirrors. They're kind of, I don't know who makes them, but they remind me of CRG Arrows. Do I like them better than the hindsight mirrors I had on my Street Twin and my TU250X before it? No, I don't. But I don't feel strongly enough about it to pay $160 for a new pair. They can be worn either pointing inwards or outwards. I really can't decide which way I think looks better, but I think I like pointing them outwards more when I'm riding because it improves visibility. What I am definitely going to do is a tail tidy. I really didn't mind the fender on my Street Twin at all. Same goes for most modern classic bikes from any brand, to be honest. But the Speed Twin has kind of a truncated mud guard, and as a result they had to put this super long stalk on there to get the license plate out to the required distance. Thankfully it's not a big job to fix that. Other than that, nothing jumps to mind. Triumph really delivered a well-sorted motorcycle with the Speed Twin. It sure as hell doesn't need any performance mods. The most I could ever see myself doing would be maybe a decat, just to bring out some of the treble in the exhaust note. But it's really not necessary. This thing sounds awesome as is. That is never going to get old. I'm going to do a sound check video on this, just like I did with the Street Twin shortly after I got it. That's actually far and away my most viewed video of all time. As of today, it's got like 15,000 views on it. I don't know how YouTube is driving that much traffic to that video, but I take that as a sign that I did something right, so I'm going to do the same thing with this. I may post it before this video, I may post it after, we'll see. So yeah, going to do the sound check video, and going to do, you know, some kind of proper introductory sizzle reel, probably after I've done the tail tidy and any other small changes needed to make the bike camera ready. Hey, that was a street scrambler. It was supposed to thunderstorm today. I'm out here in my winter waterproof gloves. I'm burning up. So the fuel light just came on. So the light comes on when I'm at 1/3 of a tank? That seems a little overly cautious, don't you think? Speaking of gas mileage, I have averaged 48. Not bad for a 1200. I suspect that average will go up over time. I've kind of just been riding on smaller roads around town in the 2 days that I've had the bike. I hadn't ridden for 7 months prior to picking it up from the dealership, and had barely ridden in the 6 months before that. So at the same time that I'm getting to know the Speed Twin, I'm also kind of refreshing my own riding skills. Let's see, what have I not said? Now obviously this thing's faster than the Street Twin. How much faster? Well, Street Twin had about 55 horsepower. Speed Twin has 96. So that's damn near double. Now that's a lot of go, especially for somebody like me who doesn't really ride all that aggressively. Thankfully it's balanced out by the very effective Brembo brakes and by the fact that this bike just doesn't have a very aggressive personality. It's not constantly goading you to go faster and to use that power and to get yourself in trouble. The sport bikes that I've owned and that I've ridden, they just feel wrong anytime you're not pushing the limit of performance. With the Speed Twin, it's like, yeah, it's got a lot of power, but you know, you don't have to use it if you don't want to. It's fine. It's that friend who's just, you know, up for whatever, like a crazy night out or just stay in and hang out. All right, I'm running out of gas and I'm starting to wax poetic. I'll have plenty of time to do that when I do a 1,000-mile update video. So I'll sign off for now, but stay tuned because you'll be seeing more of me and a lot more of this Speed Twin.